Good evening friends, study with the Pal Engineering and General Geology Parvin Singh book. So today we start new chapter Stratigraphy of India 16 chapter number, and inside this chapter introduction, principle of correlations, and a note on fossils and importance Indian groups and system. General Archean groups, Dharwar systems, Kadappa systems, Vinyan system, Paleozoic group and Cambrian to Permian Cambrian systems, Ordovician system, Silurian system भी है, Devonian system है, the Carboniferous system है, Permian system है, Mesozoic group है, Triassic system है, Jurassic system है, Cretaceous system है, Deccan Trap and the Gondwana group and Tertiary group, Eocene system, Oligocene, Lower Miocene system के बारे में दिया हुआ है, Cephalic systems, Middle Miocene to Lower Pleistocene, the Pleistocene system के बारे में. So we start information about that stratigraphy. What is? So introduction of stratigraphy. Stratigraphy, also called historical geology, is that branch of geology which deals with the history of the rocks of the earth crust with a special emphasis on their approximate times of formation and the change they have undergone since their formation. When interpreted properly, rock, especially sedimentary rocks, might reveal much valuable information about the geological, geographical, and biological environment prevailing at the times of their formation. They also reveal the imprints of times through which they have passed subsequent to their times of formation. These imprints are available in the forms of structural deformations and physical dislocations and caused by the forces and from within and morphological change brought about by the forces acting from the outside, wind, water, and ice. It's at any place layers and strata lines ones above another's are therefore similar to pages of a book, full information about the times that have gone. It is evident that by arranging the informations revealed by such rocks formation in a proper order, a geological history sequence of geological event in chronological order of that span of times might be constructed. In simple words, then stratigraphy in historical geology is a systematic study of the rocks of the earth's crust aimed at answering vital questions like when they were formed, what happens to them subsequent to their formation, and what is the event relationship of rocks formed at various places and various times since the beginning of the geological history of the earth. So principle of correlation क्या है? सो कैसे कोरिलेट करते हैं, रिलेशन कैसे एक जोड़ते हैं कि ये इस ईयर में डेवलप हुआ है, इस ईयर में डेवलप हुआ. तो जनरली स्पीकिंग द फॉर्मेशन ऑफ रॉक स्टार्टेड फ्रॉम द वेरी टाइम्स द अर्थ टुक द शेप ऑफ द कंडेंस्ड मास अबाउट 4.56 billion years ago. Igneous rock are believed to be the first formed rocks from which sedimentary rocks were evolved soon, and from both of these developed the metamorphic rock. The process of rock formation, deformation, and destructions and their reformations has been going on since then and is taking place even today. Though it may seem extremely difficult, yet it is possible in many cases to correlate rocks formed at different places during the same geological times and also to establish relative age of the rocks formed in the same regions at different times. This process is called correlations and is a fundamental concept of great importance in historical geology. By correlations may be understood establishing equivalent in rock formations developed in separate areas with regard to their geological age and stratigraphic position. To establish such correlations or mutual relationship in terms of times and space, a set of eventual facts or evidence as given below must be available. Objectives. Correlations serve as numbers of useful objectives in theoretical and applied geology. So once correlations is achieved for most of the rocks of a region, and the same since arranged in proper order, the geological history of that region becomes known. Similarly, by correlating information revealed by difficult regions, the geological history of a country might be constructed, and ultimately we obtain a broad stratigraphical picture in the space-time frames of the globe as a whole. This has already been accomplished to some extent in the forms of geological columns described later on. In economic geology, the importance of principles of correlations can hardly be overemphasized. Formation of many ore deposits, coal and petroleum are generally time-related processes that have occurred during certain specific times in the past history of the earth. In other words, chance of finding certain ores, coal deposit and petroleum reserves are of a very high order in rock of particular types formed during particular times. Search for them in other rocks may not be economically rewarding. So correlation becomes a useful guiding principles. In first location, those particular rock in unused areas which have already proved highly rich in coal, petroleum and or in another area, even a distant country or continent. Element of relations. Units. For example, for correlating rocks formed at different places during the same times and at different times in the same place, a definite system of time unit and rock unit has been established and adopted in historical geology. This is shown in table 16.1. Time unit and rock unit. Era, group, period system, epoch, series, age, stage. बहुत important है. Please learn it with writing practice. In this scales, each era comprises several periods, and each period is made up of several epochs, and so on. Similarly, each group of rocks may encompass a number of rock systems, and in turn, each system may be made up of several series, and so on. The era is a time unit measured in terms of many hundreds millions years. In fact, as well as we shall see later on, the whole geological history has been divided into 4 eras only. Obviously, each era will have corresponding rock unit which is called rock group. The largest rock unit is in stratigraphy. Period is often referred as a standard and fundamental unit of geological time scale, which is clearly understood and can be ascertained with the help of features developed in the rock formations. Rock thickness formed during a period is given the name of a system. Epoch are component divisions of the period unit and signify smaller time frames indicated by local variations in the conditions of formation of rock. Corresponding rock unit are called series. Just as each period may be divisible into a number of epochs on time scales, a system of rock unit may be made up of a number of corresponding rock series. The smallest unit on the time frames encompassing a few to many thousands of years in age, and which corresponds to the smallest rock unit formed during that times and called as a stage. On the basis of time unit and rock unit as adopted above and after, using principles of correlations and standards, arrangement for the rocks of the world has been proposed and stands broadly established. This arrangement is known as the standard stratigraphical scale or geological column, and dates from the present to the beginnings of the history. It is in given table. तो जो आपकी टेबल दी गई है उसको यहाँ से नहीं पढ़ेंगे, उसको आप उसके बेस से पढ़ेंगे. और एजोइक और प्रोटीजोइक इसमें दिया भी है नंबर 1, 2 और पीछे 3. तो एजोइक और प्रोटीजोइक प्रीकैम्बियन. Precambrians and Archeans 1500 million year old, Archeans 400 million year old. The figures give The figure gives total duration of the groups or systems in millions year M.Y and indicates last formed group in geological sequence, the first formed beings at the base. Cambrian 180 million years, Akkadians and Georgians, and the Ordovician 90 million years, Landenians, Levi, Mians and Scythian, Tremedosian, and the Silurian 35 million Downtonians, Valentian, and Loians, and Venlokian, and Aeschylians, and Cardosian. Devonians 1500 millions and upper middle to lower. Levitian, Ephelians, Cobelian, Carboniferous 60 million year. Stephanian, Pennsylvanians, Mississippian, the Western Phalians, and Nemurians, Dinonachians and Femenians, Frenians. इसको ऐसे पढ़ेंगे नीचे से. Frenian, Femenian, Dinachians, Nemurians, Westphalian, Permians 35 million years, lower, middle, upper. तो इसमें Artinchians, middle, sorry, Seconian, Thuringian, Triassic, middle year, lower, Synthetic, Anisic, Ledenic, Carnic, Noric, upper में आ गए, Retic, and Hattenigian and Sinemurians, lower में आ गया. आपका मिडिल में जुरासिक में 50 मिलियन ईयर्स, Charmothians, Thorician, Bezosians, Bethonians, Calovians, अपर में Calovian, Oxfordian, Kimmerdian, and Titanian, Neocomian, ये आपका आएगा Eptian and Albians according to this. Cretaceous millions. Sinomanians, Turonians, Senonians, Maastrichtians, Danians, and Paleocene में आया था Tenitian, Spanesian, Parisian, Suezian, Lutetian, Ovatians, Ludians, Pamelians, Latvian, Rupelians, Chetians, Burundigalians, Windobians, Sarmatians, Pontians, Placinancians, Astians. Alluviums and younger alluviums, older alluviums are divided in various states according to various scientists. So their pronunciation is changed. Some some words, some alphabets silent in conditions. Thank you.